Hi ho, hi ho, it's off to where we go. Dum 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 dum. Hi ho, Paddy and Willow. It's Paddy and Willow. Paddy versus Willow this morning. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world, and welcome to Danny's Detours, where we talk about anything and everything life related, and consciousness is our canvas. Welcome back to the channel, guys, and Paddy and Willow are a little bit on the feisty side this morning, let's just say that. I think we better let them off. Say good morning to Maximus, everyone.
Good morning again.
Yeah, right, we'll get him off. Come on. Right, sorry about that, guys. Right, go on, you two. Well, yeah, they're full of energy, full of life, and they're being the true, authentic selves, which is savage, feral beasts. Actually, thinking about it the other day, guys, I think it was Mrs. Detours who come up with this. She said, we always call Willow a wild feral beast, hence why I think we're going to nickname her now Will Feral, you know, why not? But yeah, look at them this morning. Yeah, they're going for it this morning, guys. But no, I just like to start off the channel by saying thank you so much for the love and support. It really does melt my heart, and I'm really happy with the progress and the way and the direction where the channel's going. I think we're on about 66 subscribers now, which is absolutely fantastic. So yeah, I'm really happy with the way that's going. And also, I've written down the names here, but just like to give a shout out to Pink Bubble 702. Hello, Pink Bubble 702. Thank you so much for your kind comments, and obviously I did reply to you in the comments, but I'd just like to give a shout out to you. And also, Is Not Real 42. Shout out to you as well also, because I think you was asking about Christ consciousness, and obviously Christ consciousness is something that I have sort of just basically become aware of throughout my life, but mainly more so. I think Christ consciousness is something that exists in all of us, and basically what that is that's your infinite awareness and infinite intelligence to what we are in this universe. Like, I like to look at it as this, where I kind of like look at life like this, where we're existing in a human, we are existence in a human experience. So like, if you used to look at it as like, say your life is a movie set, you know, or your life is a film, but how most people do, or how most people live their lives, is they get engrossed in the film, or they get engrossed in the actual, in, you know, like if you look at it, the movie set is actually the external of what is happening and what is going on, whereas basically how we should look at life and project our lives is we are the directors, and we are the orchestrators, and we are the architects. So the way I see it is, we are in control. We always were in control, because we are infinite, we are limitless, and we are boundless. So yeah, but Paddy's having a bit of a scratch. He's having a bit of a scratch this morning. But yeah, like I say, guys, you are in control. You always was, because when you first come into this world, you already was everything. You already was anything. You already was, you know, you already was everything and everything. So never forget that, guys, you know what I mean? But yeah, so we're gonna just get ourselves now onto the backfields. Get ourselves onto the backfields. There's a couple of walkers out on the park today, but yeah, hello. Paddy's saying hello to a few of his friends. But yeah, so I'd like to just tell a little bit of a story today, guys. Basically, it involves me and some of the problems that I had previously, earlier on in my, well, I'd say like a couple of years ago. And it's quite an intimate story, really, but I used to have a lot of problems with gambling, guys. You know, I'm not really proud to say it, but you know, it's just one of them. But yeah, you know, gambling was something that haunted me for quite a long time. When you know, in the last, I'd probably say it was like the last 8 years, but yeah, obviously now I don't, you know, I've chosen a different path now, and hence why I'm doing this channel and stuff like that. But you know, I always look back to all the trials and tribulations and challenges that we get faced with in our life, and you know, dare I say it, guys, but I was at a point where I was doing my gambling, and you know, yeah, I'd won some money, but I think once you get reeled into you know, the thought of like, you know, you can use that as a way of means of making money, but you know, this is where the elites or the people at the top or whoever they be who control these companies, they know this, and they pry on people like who have, dare I say, addictive personalities. But yeah, and I did have a lot of problems with it in the past. You know, I was, dare I say, well, I was spending like more or less all my money, like all my wages, what I was getting paid in my job at the time, and I was literally just going to the bookies, and I was betting on like sports bets. I was never really one for like casinos or stuff like that. I was more for just either like football, or I used to bet on like cage fighting, UFC and boxing and stuff like that, because you know, I've always had a little bit of an interest in these sports. Not so much now, obviously, but yeah. So it was a really tough part in my life, that, guys, and you know, it got to a point where, you know, I was betting on. I remember one time I had a significant amount of savings, and we're just going to sit down over here, guys. Just going to sit down over here. We're sitting on my my thinking step. But yeah, going back to what I was saying, yeah, it was a really tough time in my life when I was doing the gambling, because you know, it not only that, but it just took up so much of my energy, so much of my attention, and you know, I was chasing something that never even existed. You know, I was chasing something that was a myth, or it wasn't there, because like, you know, well, basically I was chasing wealth. You know, I was thinking to myself, right, well, you know, if I can put this money on there, I can make money. But every time when I did get a big win, because I did have some big wins in the past, guys, every time when I got that big win, I felt empty, and it just made me, it wasn't so much the money that I was chasing, it was more the rush and the dopamine, and I was addicted to the dopamine, guys, you know. And I think that's something that we need to become aware of in this life, because I think, you know, when we look at things like Netflix, pornography, or even like video games, everything, when we are having a transaction or we are undertaking I'm not saying not to do these things, guys, but we need to be aware of what they are, and what these, you know, why these things are in front of us, and what they can, you know, how they can go against us, because it all works on dopamine. But when when you're partaking in these activities, you know, you're basically raising your dopamine level. So the next time when you get a normal burst of dopamine on, say, I don't know, like a normal act, like say exercise or anything like that, you feel empty, or it just doesn't feel enough. Like you're basically always raising your level, if you know what I mean. But yeah, so it come to a point where I remember I was at my lowest, like I was really in a bad way, and I remember I ended up spending £5,000, and I ended up literally I gambled it all away out. And the craziest thing was that I was betting on friendly football games, like international friendly football games, and I managed to do away with £5,000 in the space of 3 days. So yeah, it was a hard time. It was a very hard moment and a hard time in my life when that had happened. And you know, dare I say it, guys, but you know, I don't like saying it, but you know, I was even considering taking my own life at one point. You know, because obviously I was that depressed, and God bless me mum, you know, shout out mum. She helped me by she said, come on, we'll take you to the doctors, because she knew I wasn't in a good way. And hey, look at Max here. Hey. He's having a swing, little lad. But yeah, she took me to the doctors, God bless her, God bless my mum. And you know, I remember speaking to the doctor and telling him, saying, you know, I don't want to be here anymore, blah blah blah, and I'm in a really bad way, talking about the gambling and stuff like that. And I never went to Gamblers Anonymous or anything like that. I never felt as though I needed to do anything like that, because I always felt I could beat everything on my own. And yeah, so they give me they give me some antidepressants, and I remember taking them once, and I've only ever took these once, and no word of a lie, guys, like, just the feeling that I got after taking them, I was like, I threw them straight in the bin, because that wasn't me. You know, they made me feel, I was laughing all the time, but I thought to myself, this isn't normal, this isn't natural. So I ended up chucking them in the bin and doing away with them. And you know, but obviously now it's been quiet, noisy. Sort him out, Willow. Sort him out. But yeah, so it's been well over a year and a half now since I've gambled, and I think, like, since I've been on this journey, or this spiritual awakening, it's like I look back to them days now, it's like I've become a totally different person. Like, it doesn't even cross my mind to even think about doing these things anymore. So this is how, and I know that now I am on the right path, you know, and thanks, you know, be to the higher power. But not even so much that, but it's like, you know, you are the source, you are the infinite, you are anything, you are everything. You like, you can manifest anything into your life, and you've just got, like, it made me think and realise to myself, and knowing that, you know, I was chasing something, like, I was chasing money, yeah, but at the end of the day, you can't, it's like what I always go back to when I say in my videos, guys, that if you're chasing something, what happens, it runs away from you. But if you embody it and you get into what you call alignment, you be that end product, you be wealth, you be health, you be abundance, you be prosperity, you know, you be that perfect business, you have them millions in the bank account, whatever these, you know, whatever you seek in life, or whatever you wish to come into fruition, you've got to know that you are the source and you are the end outcome already, and then that will start to attract into your life. And I find it amazing now, like, just me doing this channel now, it's you know, I really do feel as though I've found my calling. And, you know, because I've always liked helping people, you know, I've always been a good person, and I've always feel as though I've got, like, these, like, healing capabilities. And I think through me telling my stories, but also just, like, empowering you guys and telling you, you know, that you are everything, you are anything, you are Christ consciousness, you are right here, you are right now, you are infinite awareness. We are not these bodies that we attach ourselves to. We are not. We are that infinite energy that we have attached to that body of our souls, that then we have come into this life, you know. So never forget that, guys. So yeah, I just thought I'd tell you that little bit of a backstory on you know, me with my gambling. Obviously, you know, I'm not on that journey or that path anymore, thanks to the highest power, that be God, the universe, or whoever. I mean, but even more so thanks to me, because I am the source, you know, and everything that I seek and, you know, set to do art in this life, I will attract, you know, because I am infinite wisdom, infinite power, as are you guys. But yeah, I think we'll leave it at that for the story today. But thank you so much for the love and support. You know, it really does melt my heart. You know, I'm really enjoying doing these videos. I'm not going to stop, guys, because this is my destiny now. This is my calling. I'll be doing these videos every single day. Please, you know, to help the channel grow, please will you, in the link below in the description, please will you follow me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, if you choose to do so. I really appreciate it. Also, there's other links in the description. I'm also on X as well. Danny D2 on X. So obviously, if you want to go on there and give me a follow if you're on that platform. But yeah, like I say, thank you so much for the love and support. But for me, my son Maximus, Paddy and Willow, peace.